Something is happening at Aldi right now that will not last. A specific convergence of seasonal timing, supplier relationships, and the fines rotation calendar has produced 11 deals sitting on those shelves at prices that experienced Aldi shoppers, former employees, and the dedicated deal tracking communities that follow this store obsessively are describing with a single consistent reaction. Disbelief followed immediately by decisive action. These deals exist right now. Some will vanish within days. Every single one deserves your attention before the shelf tells you that you waited too long. 11. Wild-caught Alaskan sockeye salmon. Portions. Salmon is the single most important protein that most seniors are not eating frequently enough, and the price barrier has always been the honest explanation for that gap between nutritional intention and dietary reality. Wild-caught Alaskan sockeye salmon is the specific variety that nutrition researchers point to most consistently when discussing omega-3 fatty acid content for senior cardiovascular and cognitive health. The EPA and DHA in sockeye salmon address a deficiency nearly universal among older Americans eating typical diets, and that research connects directly to cardiovascular disease risk, cognitive decline trajectory, joint inflammation severity, and the depression rates that are disproportionately prevalent in the senior population. The distinction between sockeye and cheaper salmon varieties matters nutritionally. Sockeye contains significantly higher omega-3 concentrations than Atlantic farmed salmon, the variety most commonly found at conventional grocery store price points. The deeper red color of sockeye flesh reflects the astaxanthin content that functions as a powerful antioxidant independently of the omega-3 benefit. Aldi's current pricing on wild-caught sockeye salmon portions represents one of the most dramatic gaps between product quality and retail price that former employees and longtime shoppers describe seeing in the fresh and frozen protein categories. The price per portion sits at a level that makes eating wild-caught sockeye 2 to 3 times per week. The frequency nutritional science suggests for meaningful omega-3 benefit, completely realistic on any fixed-income grocery budget. Former employees who understand the sourcing economics describe the current price as reflecting a specific supplier relationship and seasonal availability window that will not persist indefinitely. When sockeye pricing returns to its standard retail positioning, the gap between what Aldi is currently charging and what this product costs everywhere else will be immediately and uncomfortably apparent. Buy in quantity. Freeze what you will not use within 2 days. The freezer is where this deal extends its value beyond the current pricing window. The salmon is extraordinary right now. What is coming at number 10 is something completely different. A household essential that Aldi has managed to source at a price so far below market rate that former employees who noticed it described doing a double check on the tag before trusting what they were seeing. 10. Premium extra virgin olive oil, 1 liter. Estate bottles. Extra virgin olive oil is the cooking fat that cardiovascular researchers, Mediterranean diet advocates, and the physicians who follow the PREDIMD study data most consistently recommend as the primary daily cooking fat for seniors managing heart health. The evidence base is robust. The recommendation is clear. The compliance barrier has always been price. 1 liter estate-bottled extra virgin olive oil from named producing regions typically carries retail prices at specialty food stores and upscale grocery chains that make daily liberal use financially uncomfortable for seniors managing grocery budgets carefully. The price communicates premium quality and delivers it, but the delivery comes at a cost that encourages rationing rather than the daily generous use that the cardiovascular benefit requires. The current Aldi pricing on premium extra virgin olive oil in 1 liter estate bottles represents what happens when Aldi's direct sourcing relationships intersect with a favorable harvest season, and a supplier willing to move volume at a price that makes its product accessible to the widest possible customer base rather than exclusively to the specialty food shopping demographic. The polyphenol content of estate-bottled extra virgin olive oil, specifically the oleocanthal compound that operates through the same anti-inflammatory biological pathway as ibuprofen, is meaningfully higher than commodity olive oils produced through blending and extended storage. For seniors managing chronic inflammation, arthritis, or cardiovascular risk, The quality difference between estate extra virgin and commodity olive oil is not cosmetic. It is clinically relevant. This is the price that makes daily generous use not just possible but automatic. Use it on everything. The anti-inflammatory benefit accumulates with every use, and the current price makes accumulating it effortless. The olive oil is a daily health decision made easy. What is coming at number 9 is a weekly health decision that most seniors have been making at the wrong price point for years, and Aldi's current deal makes the correction completely obvious. 9. Grass-fed organic beef. Mince multi-pack. The distinction between conventional grain-fed beef and grass-fed organic beef is not marketing language. It is a measurable nutritional difference that matters specifically for the health outcomes most relevant to seniors managing the chronic conditions most prevalent in the aging population. Grass-fed beef contains a conjugated linoleic acid profile, approximately twice that of grain-fed beef. CLA has demonstrated anti-inflammatory properties in research, supports favorable body composition outcomes, and carries emerging research connections to reduced cancer risk that conventional beef's fat profile does not offer. The omega-3 to omega-6 ratio in grass-fed beef is measurably more favorable for inflammatory balance than the omega-6 dominant profile of grain-fed alternatives. At organic grocery retailers and upscale conventional chains, grass-fed organic beef commands prices that make it an occasional purchase rather than a weekly staple for most seniors on fixed incomes. The premium reflects genuine production quality differences, but prices those differences at a level that excludes the shoppers who would benefit most from the nutritional upgrade. Aldi's current multi-pack pricing on grass-fed organic beef. Mince delivers the full production quality advantage at a price per pound that makes weekly use not just financially reasonable, but genuinely competitive with the conventional grain-fed beef pricing at most competing retailers. Former employees tracking Aldi's organic meat pricing cycles describe the current price as sitting at the lowest point in the 2-year cycle they have observed. The combination of multi-pack format and current pricing makes this the moment to buy in volume, portion into weekly use amounts, and freeze for the months ahead. From protein to something that seniors use daily but rarely buy at a price that reflects genuine quality. Number 8 is a deal that former employees describe as the most useful everyday kitchen item in the current rotation, available right now at a price point that makes every alternative look like an oversight. 8. Ceramic non-stick cookware set. The cookware question for seniors managing health-conscious cooking is more complicated than it appears at the shelf level. Conventional non-stick coatings using PTFE chemistry, the material associated with the Teflon brand, release chemical compounds at high cooking temperatures that research has increasingly flagged as concerns for chronic health outcomes with repeated exposure. The regulatory response to these concerns has been gradual and incomplete relative to the pace of the underlying research. Ceramic non-stick cookware addresses this concern by replacing synthetic polymer coatings with inorganic ceramic compounds that provide comparable non-stick performance at normal cooking temperatures without the chemical release concerns associated with conventional coatings. The trade-off has historically been durability, with ceramic coatings showing faster degradation than PTFE coatings under aggressive use conditions. The quality of ceramic cookware has improved substantially in recent years as the technology has matured. The ceramic non-stick cookware set in Aldi's current fines rotation represents the matured technology at a price that makes replacing a full set of aging conventional cookware not just affordable, but immediately sensible for any senior still using cookware whose non-stick surface has begun to visibly deteriorate. Former employees who are personally attentive to kitchen health describe this set as one of the current rotation items they most personally recommended to family members, specifically because the combination of the ceramic coating health rationale and the price makes the decision completely straightforward. The set includes the core sizes that cover the majority of senior meal preparation needs: a saucepan for soups and grains, a sauté pan for proteins and vegetables, a stock pot for batch cooking and bone broth. The complete coverage at a single fines price that former employees confirm is sitting at the lowest they have observed for comparable ceramic quality. That was the kitchen upgraded at the right price. What is coming at number 7 involves something that most seniors purchase every month at a price that Aldi has just made completely indefensible everywhere else. 7. Complete omega-3 and vitamin D3 with K2 supplement bundle. The two most prevalent and most consequential nutritional deficiencies in the senior population are omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin D. Both are well documented in clinical literature. Both have clear and measurable health consequences when chronically insufficient. And both are available in properly formulated supplements that pharmacy, retail, and health food stores price at levels making monthly expenditure a meaningful budget line item for seniors managing multiple supplement needs. The omega-3 supplement included in Aldi's current bundle delivers EPA and DHA at the combined daily doses that research protocols for cardiovascular and cognitive health benefit use, not the token amounts that lower-priced supplements use to justify an omega-3 label claim. The distinction matters because the therapeutic benefit documented in clinical research occurs at specific intake thresholds that nominal dose supplements do not reach. The vitamin D3 and K2 combination addresses the complementary relationship between these two nutrients that clinical nutritionists increasingly emphasize. Vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption. Vitamin K2 in the MK7 form directs that absorbed calcium toward bone mineralization rather than arterial calcification. Taking vitamin D3 without K2 is increasingly understood as an incomplete intervention. Taking them together at the doses in the Aldi bundle is the complete intervention. The current bundle price at Aldi sits at a level that former employees and longtime supplement shoppers describe as representing approximately 1/3 to 1/4 of what comparable dose and quality products cost at pharmacy chains and health food retailers. This is not a price that can be indefinitely sustained. It reflects a specific purchasing cycle and sourcing relationship. Former employees who understand Aldi's buying patterns describe it as a window that will close and that will not reopen at the same price point for a considerable time. Buy the 3-month supply the current stock allows. The per-day cost at the current price is one of the most favorable health investments available anywhere in retail right now. 6 deals covered. What is at number 6 is something seniors purchase every single week without exception, and that Aldi has just priced at a level that makes every other retailer's version look like a premium surcharge on a commodity product. 6. Organic free-range eggs, 2 dozen value. Pack the egg case at most grocery retailers in 2026 carries prices that reflect the supply disruptions, production cost increases, and retail margin optimization that have made eggs one of the most discussed grocery budget pressure points for seniors managing fixed monthly food expenditure. Organic free-range eggs at conventional grocery retailers carry premiums over standard eggs that reflect genuine production standard differences, but are priced at levels that make the organic free-range choice financially uncomfortable as a daily staple for seniors who should, based on nutritional science, be eating eggs as a primary protein and choline source every single day. The current Aldi 2 dozen value pack pricing on organic free-range eggs represents a specific purchasing window that former employees who track the egg category pricing cycles describe as sitting at the lowest unit price they have observed for certified organic free-range product in the store's recent history. The nutritional case for eggs as a senior dietary staple remains as strong as it has ever been. Complete protein with all essential amino acids, choline essential for brain health and nerve function that the majority of seniors do not consume in adequate amounts from dietary sources. Lutein and zeaxanthin providing documented protection against age-related macular degeneration. Vitamin D in meaningful amounts from one of the few non-fortified food sources of this critical nutrient. The 2 dozen format at the current price makes buying organic free-range the obviously correct choice at Aldi right now. Former employees describe this format selling faster than the standard dozen at proportionally higher purchase rates, suggesting that the senior shoppers who understand the value are buying accordingly. Eggs every day. Organic free-range at this price. There is no nutritional or financial argument for doing otherwise right now. That was an everyday essential at an extraordinary price. What is coming at number 5 is something that most seniors have never considered buying at Aldi, but that former employees describe as one of the most remarkable value propositions currently sitting in the store, in a category that specialty retailers have been overcharging for years. 5. Single origin specialty. Coffee, whole bean, and ground coffee is a daily ritual for the majority of seniors and one of the most consistently overpaid grocery categories in the weekly shopping basket. The per-cup cost of name-brand grocery store coffee, pod format coffee, and specialty cafe coffee bears a relationship to actual coffee production costs that the industry has been counting on consumers not examining too carefully. Single-origin specialty coffee, sourced from specific farms or cooperatives in defined growing regions with verifiable quality and processing standards, commands prices at specialty coffee retailers and upscale grocery chains that position it as a considered purchase rather than a daily staple. The current Aldi specialty coffee rotation has introduced single-origin options from specific growing regions, including Ethiopian natural processed varieties with the berry and stone fruit flavor complexity that specialty coffee consumers pay significantly more to access at dedicated roasters and coffee subscription services. The research on coffee and senior health has shifted significantly over the past decade in ways that convert daily coffee consumption from a guilty pleasure into a genuinely validated health practice. The polyphenol content of properly sourced and freshly roasted coffee delivers antioxidant compounds that research associates with reduced cardiovascular disease risk, reduced type 2 diabetes incidence, improved cognitive function preservation in aging adults, and reduced risk of several neurological conditions including Parkinson's disease. Quality of the source material matters for both the flavor and the polyphenol content of the final cup. Single-origin coffee from Aldi's current specialty rotation, at the current price, delivers both dimensions at a cost that makes the pod machine and the overpriced grocery store brand look like expensive ways to get inferior results. Former employees describe the specialty coffee finds as the category that generates the most consistent repeat purchasing behavior among seniors who discover it. They find it once, taste the difference from what they were buying, and never go back to the previous purchase without significant reluctance. Number 4 takes the list in a different direction entirely. What is coming is a home goods deal that former employees describe as sitting at the single lowest price they have ever observed for the quality category being offered, in a product that most seniors replace every 3 to 4 years, and that Aldi has just made the obvious purchase for anyone whose current version has seen better days. 4. High-density mattress topper. With cooling technology, sleep surface quality is the upstream variable determining much of what a senior's sleep quality can and cannot achieve, regardless of every other sleep hygiene practice correctly implemented. The most disciplined sleep schedule, the most carefully managed sleep environment, the most consistent pre-sleep routine. All of these deliver their full benefit only when the surface the senior is sleeping on provides adequate pressure relief, spinal support, and temperature regulation through the night. High-density memory foam mattress toppers with cooling gel infusion address the 2 primary sleep surface complaints that seniors most consistently report. Pressure point discomfort at hips, shoulders, and knees that disrupts sleep continuity by triggering position changes throughout the night, and thermal discomfort from sleeping surfaces that retain body heat in ways that elevate sleep temperature above the range optimal for deep sleep architecture. The cooling gel infusion technology in premium mattress toppers works through heat distribution rather than active cooling, spreading the heat generated at pressure points across the broader surface area of the topper in ways that prevent localized temperature spikes while maintaining the overall sleep surface temperature within the range that supports rather than disrupts sleep quality. At bedding specialty retailers and online mattress and sleep product companies, high-density cooling mattress toppers in queen and king sizes carry prices that make replacing an aging one a budgeted purchase requiring a specific moment of household expenditure, authorization rather than a spontaneous improvement decision. The current Aldi finds pricing on this item represents what former employees and longtime bedding shoppers describe as a price point that has no comparable at any accessible retail outlet for the density and cooling specifications being offered. Former employees describe customers returning to the store the day after buying one specifically to purchase additional units for spare bedrooms and adult children's households. That was the sleep surface dealt with definitively. What is coming at number 3 is the deal that former employees consistently describe as the one they contacted their own family members about immediately upon seeing it arrive on the fines floor. 3. Smart blood pressure monitor with irregular heartbeat detection. Hypertension affects the majority of adults over 65 and is the single most important modifiable risk factor for the cardiovascular events, stroke, heart attack, and heart failure that represent the leading causes of mortality and disability in the senior population. Home blood pressure monitoring is recommended by cardiologists for essentially all seniors managing hypertension, and the research on home monitoring outcomes versus office-only monitoring is unambiguous about the superiority of home measurement for treatment optimization, medication adjustment timing, and the identification of white coat hypertension that inflates office readings above true resting levels. The irregular heartbeat detection feature in Aldi's current smart blood pressure monitor Fines item adds a monitoring dimension that goes beyond standard blood pressure measurement to flag readings taken during episodes of cardiac arrhythmia, including the atrial fibrillation that is among the most prevalent and most dangerous cardiac conditions in the senior population. Atrial fibrillation is frequently asymptomatic in its early stages, progressing silently until it produces the stroke or cardiac event that becomes the first indication something was wrong. A home blood pressure monitor that simultaneously identifies potential arrhythmia during routine daily measurements provides seniors and their physicians with detection capability that was previously available only through formal cardiac monitoring. For seniors with family history of atrial fibrillation or other cardiac arrhythmias, this detection feature elevates the device from a helpful monitoring tool into a potentially life-saving early warning system. The current Aldi price for this device sits at a level that former employees who have researched comparable products describe as representing approximately 1/4 to 1/3 of what comparable irregular heartbeat detection blood pressure monitors cost at pharmacy chains and medical supply retailers. This is a device worth buying at twice the Aldi price. At the current Aldi price, it is a deal that former employees describe as the single most urgent purchase recommendation on the current fines floor. 2 deals remaining. Number 2 is something that catches most seniors by complete surprise when they encounter it at Aldi, because nothing about the store's identity prepares first-time buyers for the quality level that is about to be revealed inside the packaging. 2. Cashmere Blend Loungewear Set. Cashmere is the textile that senior comfort needs, and senior budget realities have been on opposite sides of for most people's entire adult lives. The softness that makes cashmere the preferred material for sensitive, thinning, aging skin. The thermal regulation properties that make it comfortable across a wider temperature range than any synthetic alternative. The durability when properly cared for, that makes genuine cashmere a decades-long investment rather than a seasonal purchase. All of these properties are present in Cashmere Blend loungewear at lower price points than pure cashmere, and the Cashmere Blend loungewear set appearing in Aldi's current apparel. Fines Rotation is delivering those properties at a price that former employees and textile-aware customers describe as representing one of the best fabric-to-price propositions the Fines section has ever produced. The loungewear set format, coordinated top and bottom pieces in Cashmere Blend construction, addresses the specific daily comfort needs of seniors who spend meaningful portions of their day in comfortable home clothing, and for whom the material quality of that clothing has direct implications for skin comfort, thermal well-being, and the simple daily pleasure of wearing something that feels genuinely good. For seniors managing the skin sensitivity and chronic cold that are among the most universal physical experiences of aging, Cashmere Blend clothing is not an indulgence. It is a functional material choice whose comfort and thermal benefits are immediately and consistently experienced in daily wear. Former employees who have worked through multiple apparel. Fines Rotations describe the Cashmere Blend loungewear as the item that generates the most genuine quality surprise among customers who pick it up, feel the material, check the price, and process the combination in the specific order that ends with the item going in the cart. 1 deal remaining, and it is the one that former employees, deal tracking communities, and the seniors who have already found it describe with the specific combination of disbelief and urgency that only appears when something genuinely extraordinary is sitting on a shelf at a price that will not survive contact with public awareness for more than a few days. 1. The Whole Home Air Purification System. With HEPA and activated carbon filtration, indoor air quality is the senior health variable that receives the least attention relative to its documented impact on the respiratory, cardiovascular, and cognitive outcomes that matter most for aging adults. Seniors who spend the majority of their time indoors, which describes the majority of older adults particularly during winter months, are exposed to indoor air that contains particulate matter, volatile organic compounds, allergens, mold spores, and airborne pathogens at concentrations that outdoor air rarely approaches. The health consequences of chronic poor indoor air quality are not subtle in the research literature. Particulate matter exposure accelerates cardiovascular disease progression. Volatile organic compounds from furniture, cleaning products, and building materials accumulate in indoor air at concentrations producing chronic low-level neurological effects that research connects to cognitive decline trajectories in older adults. Allergen and mold spore concentrations trigger inflammatory responses that worsen the respiratory and immune conditions most prevalent in the senior population. HEPA filtration at the true HEPA standard captures 99.97% of particles as small as 0.3 microns, the size range encompassing the majority of respiratory pathogens, fine particulate matter, and allergens that drive indoor air quality health impacts. Activated carbon filtration addresses the volatile organic compound dimension that HEPA alone cannot manage, adsorbing chemical compounds that pass through mechanical filters without resistance. The combination of true HEPA and activated carbon filtration in a whole home system represents the complete indoor air quality intervention that respiratory physicians and allergists recommend for seniors managing asthma, COPD, cardiovascular disease, or any condition where airborne particulate and chemical exposure worsens clinical outcomes. Whole home air purification systems delivering both filtration technologies in a system sized for the square footage of a typical senior home or apartment. Carry prices at home improvement retailers, online electronics platforms, and specialty air quality retailers that make them significant household purchases requiring deliberate budgeting. The current Aldi finds pricing on the whole home, HEPA, and activated carbon purification system is the price point that former employees describe using the most emphatic language they apply to any finds item in recent memory. Not impressive, not a good deal, a price that should not be possible for the product being offered and that will not remain possible once the current purchasing window closes. Former employees who tracked the arrival of this item describe the shelf clearance pattern as the most rapid they have observed for any home goods finds product in the current rotation. Wednesday morning it arrives. Wednesday afternoon, the first wave of informed shoppers, the ones connected to Aldi deal communities who saw the item flagged before the store opened, has already depleted the initial display quantity. By Thursday morning at high traffic locations, the shelf is gone. This is the item around which your next Wednesday morning trip should be planned, not an addition to an existing shopping list. The anchor of a dedicated first available Wednesday visit that you are blocking on your calendar before you do anything else after finishing this video. If this list is already prompting you to plan that trip, hit that like button right now and subscribe. Every week we track the Aldi deals, finds arrivals, and senior shopping strategies that make the difference between arriving first and arriving to an empty shelf with nothing to show for the drive. The next video is already on screen. We are counting down the 15 Aldi finds selling out fastest in 2026, every one of them a product worth building your Wednesday morning schedule around. You will not want to miss a single entry.